Chapter 91 Han Yu is out of character and is simply a beast in clothes. Please subscribe and vote MO. You are listening at novelfull.audio. By the way, Ming, let's see if there is a healing soul master among your students. Before he finished speaking, Yu Xiaogang, who was lying next to Ma Hongjun, suddenly woke up. He sat up suddenly and grabbed Flender's hand. No, Yi Lingling has an improper relationship with Han Yu. We must not let her come to treat us. Han Yu. Teacher, do you know Han Yu? Ming said in surprise. Flanders didn't think too much. He quickly helped Yu Xiaogang up, fearing that the latter would cause problems again. Yu Xiaogang snorted coldly. Humph, more than half a year ago, Han Yu and I were teachers at Notting Soul Master Academy. At that time, he targeted Xiaosan and me everywhere, and I was even framed by him and forced to leave because of this. College. Flanders looked strange and said, Xiaogang, that's not right. You said before that he was a soul sect, but I clearly feel that his strength is higher than that of a soul sage. It's not that he doesn't believe in Yu Xiaogang, the main thing is that it is impossible to be promoted from soul sect to soul sage in more than half a year. Ming also said, Han Yu was a level 78, soul saint when he entered the academy. Even if he makes a breakthrough in the past few days, he is still a level 79, soul saint. I think it is impossible to say that he is a soul sect. Hearing this, Yu Xiaogang was in a trance. It's very possible that he hid his strength when he was in the academy. But that's not right. His age cannot be changed. Ming suddenly thought, I seem to have read an ancient book in the library of Jindo Royal Academy. It records that some evil soul masters will use blood sacrifices to plunder the cultivation of other soul masters to quickly increase their strength. Ming. Flanders patted his shoulder, shook his head and said, don't talk nonsense about this kind of thing. It's good to be sure that he is an evil soul master, but if we spread rumors for no reason, I'm afraid many people will come to us. Trouble. Apart from anything else, Flanders has been in the Soul Master world for so many years, and he still has heard about the Wuhuan Palace's mission to annihilate evil Soul Masters. If the Wuhuan Palace finally finds out that Han Yu is not an evil Soul Master, and with Han Yu's talent, he will most likely be recruited by them. At that time, in order to increase the leverage, it is not impossible for Wuhuan Palace to kill those who spread rumors. Ming changed the topic angrily. It's true that Lingling is his student, but her healing effect is the best among all the healing soul masters I have ever seen. I'm afraid only she can treat the injuries suffered by Junior Hongjun. Countermeasures. Yu Xiaogang once again rejected it. Ma Hongjun is not his disciple, and he has nothing to do with the problem, but Tang San couldn't be treated by Yi Lingling. When they were at Notting College, their relationship wasn't very good. Han Yu kept wearing small shoes for them. If she had added some ingredients during the treatment, I'm afraid Tang San would have died. Master, what happened between you two? The little monsters are waiting for treatment now. If they are delayed, it will affect their foundation. Zhao Wuji said anxiously. This Yi Lingling has an affair with Han Yu. When they were in the academy, they began to go in and out together, and their relationship was very close. Moreover, Han Yu was known to be very narrow-minded. If he knew about it, the mistress would. I'm afraid my life is in danger. No wonder Yi Lingling runs to him every day. He is such a dirty person. Ming sneered. He scorned people like Han Yu who violated ethics. However, he seemed to have forgotten that Han Yu was not some old monster who had lived for hundreds of years, but a 27-year-old young man. In Douluo continent, marriages with 20-year age differences abound. But when it comes to Han Yu, it becomes unethical. My family members don't understand, they are so speechless. Master, if that's the case, I'll be responsible for the treatment of the juniors. Dean, I'm going to find someone first, and I'll come to visit the juniors tomorrow. Ming, let me give it to you. After leaving the hotel where Shrek Academy stayed, Ming couldn't wait to go to Ling Xiao and others to settle the score immediately. However, for the safety of his junior students, he had to find a healing soul master first. Xiaogang, there are some things you may not know. Han Yu once robbed my shop. Although his appearance has been disguised, his soul power and aura cannot be changed. Flanders sighed. hey, if we offend him, our life will be difficult. Ha, don't worry, Flanders. Have you forgotten that I told you about the identity of the mistress? Yu Xiaogang said confidently, I believe that as long as that person knows about this, he will naturally take action to solve our troubles. I forgot about it. If that's the case, I'm relieved. They didn't know that after the last battle, the injuries in Tang Hao's body had become uncontrollable, and there was a risk of sudden death at any time. It was during the time when Shrek was starting school that he forced himself to come over and take a look at Tang San. After seeing that there was no safety risk in the latter, he hid to recuperate. At night, Ming, who traveled most of Soto City, finally found a healing soul master above the soul sect. Compared to Shrek Academy, the atmosphere in the Imperial fighting team seemed much more relaxed. Everyone went back to their respective rooms and started practicing. Han Yu found another room alone, and through the photo-taking soul guide terminal, he learned what happened at Shrek's side. In his eyes, Ming is nothing but a boiling sheep. Moreover, Yu Xiaogang openly slandered him and even brought Yi Lingling with him. How could he bear it? Just as he was thinking about how to teach Yu Xiaogang a lesson, there was a knock on the door. Teacher Han, are you there? Ling Ling. Han Yu waved his hand and the door to the room slowly opened. Yi Lingling was wearing pajamas, and her body curves were perfectly highlighted. What's the matter with you? Han Yu looked at her figure, a little stunned. It's late at night, and a man and a woman are alone in the same room. Yi Lingling lowered her head shyly. Today, the scene where Han Yu came to the rescue kept replaying in her mind. Growing up, there were many people who protected her, but there had never been anyone who gave her such a sense of security as Han Yu. What girl is not pregnant? Not to mention that she was arranged by her elders to go to Tiando Royal Academy in order to find a husband who could protect her. Although Han Yu is a teacher, he is not much older than her. What's the secret? Mainly because Han Yu had never been in love before, so he didn't know what the situation was. Just like that, the atmosphere became a little awkward. Yi Lingling covered her face, walked slowly to the door, and closed the door. He whispered softly, Teacher Han, me. Biting her silver teeth, she threw herself into Han Yu's arms. She slowly closed her eyes, stood on tiptoes, and moved her jade lips towards Han Yu. If I refuse, wouldn't I be just like Dai Mubai? Han Yu felt hot in his heart. He and Yi Lingling did have a teacher-student relationship, but Yi Lingling did not worship Han Yu as his teacher. The two of them were more of friends, and there was no violation of ethics. Moreover, the two have been in contact for so long, and their relationship is constantly warming up. Han Yu closed the curtains smoothly and was speechless all night. Chapter 92. This guy is really good at licking. Please subscribe and vote monthly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Ming felt that it was inappropriate not to go back for a long time, so he rushed back to the Soto Spirit Arena. However, he arrived late and everyone in Huangdo had already left. As for what happened last night, since there was no audience, the outside world did not know what happened in the Great Soul Fighting Arena. The Great Soul Fighting Arena would not take the initiative to publicize such a shameful thing. Except for the main Fighting Spirit Arena in the center, which is closed for maintenance, other spirit fighting arenas are operating as usual. Ming did not stay here longer and quickly rushed to Soto Hotel. Early in the morning, Yen opened his eyes and found that Yi Lingling was not in the room. Just as she was about to go out to search, she saw Yi Lingling passing her by holding Han Yu's arm. You. Yen rubbed his eyes and said with a surprised look on his face. Sister Yanzi, my relationship with Teacher Han has been confirmed, but please don't talk nonsense. Yi Lingling explained with a smile. Yen smiled and immediately closed the door, pretending not to see it. Last night, the two of them decided to wait until the Soul Master competition is over before announcing their relationship. For now, Yi Lingling can still focus on training, while Han Yu will also have to run around with matters in his academy. When the two of them went downstairs, they happened to meet Ming. Looking at the two people who behaved intimately, Ming didn't say much. He who knows the current affairs is a hero, but he dare not touch Han Yu's brow. Teacher Qin is very busy. I heard that you graduated from Shrek Academy. Why, did you go back to your alma mater to visit the teacher? Han Yu took the initiative to say hello. The corners of Ming's mouth twitched slightly, but he still said with a smile, Duke Weiss asked me to do some things last night, so I was delayed. Lingling, how are Tianheng and the others? Duke Weiss had left Soto City a long time ago, and he did not believe that Han Yu would check such a thing. Yi Lingling's face suddenly darkened. She doesn't want to see a guy like Qin Ming at all. Ignoring Qin Ming, Han Yu changed the topic. Lingling, Ling Xiao and the others went to Ling Mansion early in the morning. We just happened to come to Soto City, so let's go visit Senior Ling Hai. Yeah. Huh, teacher-student incest. Qin Ming cursed in his heart and hurried to the room. The purpose of his return was originally to take care of Ling Xiao. However, after learning about Ling Xiao's background from Zhao Wuji, he had no choice but to give up. After all, those who understand current affairs are distinguished. However, the Royal Dou team really struck hard this time. This time he planned to ask Yu Tianheng to come forward and apologize to Shrek Academy. Yu Tianheng is his most obedient student, and he believes that the other student will not refuse. This kind of person deserves to be a teacher. It's really disgusting. Yi Lingling sneered after leaving the hotel. Han Yu laughed sarcastically, and then asked, by the way, did you take any pictures with the soul recording device I asked you to carry? Yi Lingling did take a lot of photos, but these images were used as evidence to convict Qin Ming, which was still a bit reluctant. Most of what she photographed was Qin Ming's inaction and arranging tactics. In this case, at best, he was overconfident. Last night, Qin Ming didn't simply go to the hotel where he stayed at Shrek Academy. As he said that, Han Yu took out the imaging soul tool terminal. The above clearly recorded how Qin Ming groveled in front of everyone in Shrek. He is a teacher from Tiando Royal Academy, and he actually talks bad about his students to Shrek Academy. Such a scumbag is not worthy of being a teacher. Yi Lingling gritted her teeth in anger. However, this kind of thing would only result in Qin Ming being expelled from Tiando Royal Academy. Recalling the development of the original time and space, Qin Ming will eventually join Lanba Academy. So, his expulsion from Tiando Royal Academy had almost no impact on him. This is not what Han Yu wants. If you don't take action, that's it. If you do, the opponent must die without a place to die. Lingling, don't mess up in front of Qin Ming. I have my own plan for this matter. Qin Ming has bullied you, and he can't live with it. Yeah, Yi Lingling responded softly. In the afternoon, after Qin Ming's brainwashing, Yu Tianheng ignored Du Guyan's obstruction and agreed to Qin Ming's ridiculous request. Tianheng, are you crazy? What are you thinking? Du Guyan said angrily. Yanzi, why are you so sensitive? Doesn't teacher Qin do it for our own good? Yu Tianheng retorted. Du Guyan's unwillingness to hand over the secret technique to him had already made him unhappy, and now he was dictating his decision. Long was arrogant, so how could Yu Tianheng be willing to bow his head? Okay Yanzi, this is because Tianheng and the others did not know the importance of their actions. We should apologize. This is what we should do. Qin Ming said without blushing. Ha! Du Guyan turned and left angrily. Qin Ming was definitely kicked in the head by a donkey. Last night, the injuries suffered by Yu Tianheng and others were shocking. If Yi Lingling hadn't joined forces with several other healing soul masters, Yu Tianheng and the others would still be lying in bed. Even if something happened to Qin Ming last night, shouldn't he seek justice for his students now that he's back? Unexpectedly, he actually slapped him down, saying lightly that they were too harsh, and put all the responsibility on them. Du Guyan now feels more and more that Yi Lingling's view is right. Compared with Han Yu, Qin Ming is simply far behind. Tianheng, Yanzi will understand my painstaking efforts. Qin Ming patted Yu Tianheng on the shoulder. He looked at Yu Tianheng with increasingly satisfied eyes. At the same time, the plan he had buried in his heart could be implemented. Team Shrek was indeed defeated by Team Huangdou, but the juniors were young. The eldest Dai Mubai was only 15 years old. On the other hand, except for the 3 substitutes, everyone in the Imperial team is basically over 17 years old. When the time comes, he only needs to compare the ages and attribute the victory in the spirit fight to Yu Tianheng. The merger of Shrek Academy into Tiando Royal Academy will not encounter much resistance at all. Qin Ming did not expect that this time it would be a mountain with no way out, but a village with dark flowers and bright flowers, and his plan could still be implemented. The words are divided into 2 parts. After the healing spirit master took action, Tang San and the others were finally fine. Xiao Wu, Xiao Wu. Tang San, who had just woken up, called out quickly. Third brother, I'm here. Xiao Wu, who was lying next to him, gradually regained consciousness. Tang San turned over and quickly checked Xiao Wu's injuries. Third brother, don't look at it. Xiao Wu blushed and quickly arranged the clothes on her chest. Seeing that her breathing was stable, Tang San finally breathed a sigh of relief. I'm sorry Xiao Wu, I couldn't protect you this time. That if he hadn't directed Xiao Wu to go deep behind enemy lines, nothing would have happened to the latter. It was too late to say anything. He had not been able to avenge Xiao Wu even in Hong Wen's state, and it was even more impossible now. Thank you, third brother, I'm fine. Xiao Wu said with a touched face. If I cultivate the clear sky hammer spirit, I will definitely be able to protect Xiao Wu and defeat the Imperial Do team. Tang San couldn't help but think. Chapter 93 The Founder of Shrek from the Void. Please subscribe and vote monthly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mistress, you're awake. Looking at Tang San, who was no longer seriously injured, Yu Xiaogang said with a smile. Teacher, I let you down. Xiao San, you have done a good job in this soul fighting. Victory and defeat are common things for military strategists. If you can't bear this blow, how can you become a strong person? That's right. My second martial spirit has not been used yet, and the Tang sect's hidden weapons have not been lost, but the number is just not enough. Tang San couldn't help but think. After breaking open 2 turtle shells, he had used up all his hidden weapons and consumed a lot of soul power, so he was successfully attacked by Zhu Zhuqing and Ling Xiao. Teacher, I understand. Xiao San, go and enlighten your teammates. Remember, as a team leader, you must always pay attention to the status of your teammates. Yu Xiaogang said solemnly. Since the end of the spirit fight, everyone in Shrek has been in a low mood. Originally, they were all blown up to the sky, but now that the planes suddenly crashed, the gap in their hearts was still huge. As a result, Dai Mubai has no intention of getting back together with Zhu Zhuqing now. Arriving at the room on the other side, Tang San saw that Ma Hongjuan's lower body was wrapped in thick white cloth, looking like a half-mummy. Everyone, this is Fatty. As Ma Hongjuan's good brother, Dai Mubai sighed, Fatty's place has been ruined. I'm afraid he will spend the rest of his life. For a moment, Tang San didn't know how to speak. In fact, Ma Hongjun had already woken up before he woke up. However, because it was difficult to accept the reality, Ma Hongjun fell into a coma again after making a fuss for a while. Everyone, this defeat in the spirit fight is actually a kind of whip for us. Tang San continued, these days, we have been so successful that we have even forgotten the taste of failure. The teacher said that victory and defeat are common in military affairs. Only by experiencing failure can we find out our shortcomings. Only by correcting them in the future can we become truly strong. Xiao San, everyone has tried their best in this spirit fight. It's just that Fatty's current situation may make it difficult for him to be a good person in the future. In a short period of time, Tang San couldn't think of any good ideas. There are some rare things that can bring life and death to life, flesh and white bones, but such rare things often rely on fate. Dong dong. At this time, the door of the room was knocked. You're here so soon. Flandre opened the door. He turned around and introduced to everyone. Mistress, you were still in a coma before and didn't know the situation. This is Ming, a former outstanding student of Shrek Academy and your senior. Senior? Tang San was stunned. When he first came to Shrek Academy, he heard Dai Mubai say that Shrek's most outstanding graduates are now elders of the Spirit Hall. The moment she saw Ming, Xiao Wu hid behind Tang San with a nervous look on her face. The elder of Wuhuan Palace must be a powerful person at the title Douluo level, and her identity can be seen through at a glance. Hello, fellow junior Tang San. In addition to being your senior, I am also the leader of the Imperial fighting team. This spirit fight. Hey. Ming looked at Tang San with a smile. Xiao San, your injuries were all cured by Xiao Ming by paying a healing soul master. Why don't you thank him quickly? Flender said from the side. He was really afraid that Tang San would get into trouble with Ming because of Xiao Wu. Thank you, senior. Tang San bowed. He didn't have a good impression of the royal Do Sentai, but he had no reason to attack such a senior who had helped them. By the way, senior, aren't you the elder of Wuhuan Palace? Why are you the leader of the Imperial fighting team? Qin Ming was stunned. He had never said that he was an elder of Wuhuan Palace. Flanders was startled, secretly thinking something was wrong, and then explained, Xiaosan, did you listen to what Mubai said? Dai Mubai couldn't help but ask, Dean, I heard what you said, didn't I? Hearing this, Qin Ming looked at Flanders with a puzzled look. Shrek has only been established for more than 20 years. If there is such an elder, wouldn't he be only in his 30s? Flanders coughed lightly and explained, Ahem, you all heard wrong. Before Xiao Ming entered your school, Shrek Academy had a contra-level teacher. Zhao Wuji quickly agreed, that's right, not a student, but a teacher. At that time, the old gentleman already had an 89-level soul power. Later, after his soul power broke through, he joined the Spirit Hall. Moreover, the predecessor of Shrek Academy, is that old gentleman's private school. Since we met that old gentleman, we jointly established Shrek Academy. Flanders felt a little unhappy with his explanation. Shrek Academy was run by him, but now half of the credit has been taken away by a person from the void, non-existence. There is no other way. If you want to make up for this lie, you can only say this. That old gentleman is a very good teacher. It's a pity that something happened inside Wuhuan Hall, and the old gentleman never came back. After speaking, Flanders sighed. I see. Everyone understands. Qin Ming didn't know whether it was true or not, so he responded casually, and then said, I almost forgot, Tianheng, come in quickly, I will introduce it to you. Tianheng. Yu Xiaogang, who was still in the back room, looked stunned. After thinking for a moment, he decided to go see his nephew. Tianheng walked into the room and said with some embarrassment, Hello, everyone from Team Shrek. Qin Ming is a senior at Shrek Academy, so he is the only outsider here. Tang San didn't show any anger towards Yu Tianheng. Every injustice has its own owner, and the person who hurt Xiao Wu was Ling Xiao and had nothing to do with Yu Tianheng. This spirit fight is the fault of our Imperial fighter team. Tianheng, please apologize to everyone on behalf of the Imperial fighter team. Qin Ming patted his shoulder and urged. Xiao Ming, there's no need for this. Flanders didn't expect that the other party would do this. Yu Tianheng is a member of the Shangsan sect. If this matter is known to the family behind him, Shrek may be in trouble. Tang San quickly pulled up Yu Tianheng and said, Tianheng, when fighting souls, soul skills have no eyes. Besides, I also injured you, so let's consider it even. This Yu Tianheng looked at Qin Ming with some uncertainty. For Qin Ming, he has shown enough attitude and this matter is in the past. Tianheng. Yu Xiaogang walked out of the back room, with his hands behind his back, showing a confident look, looking for fame. Yu Tianheng's eyes widened slightly. Uncle Xiaogang, is it really you? Tang San was stunned and asked quickly, Teacher, do you know each other? Before Yu Xiaogang could speak, Yu Tianheng took the lead in explaining, Tang San, Uncle Xiaogang is my father's brother and a member of our family. Hearing this, Tang San recalled that Yu Xiaogang once said that his martial spirit should have evolved into the Golden Holy Dragon, but it was only due to a lack of congenital power that it degenerated into Luo San Pao, and the inherited martial spirit of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family is nothing but a dragon. It turns out that the teacher's background is so powerful. Thank you all readers for your rewards and monthly votes. In addition, don't forget the monthly pass and recommendation vote. Chapter 94 Qin Ming's Ambition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tianheng, how are you doing with your family? Yu Xiaogang asked. Uncle Xiaogang, actually Grandpa has always been thinking about you, and so has Dad. Yu Tianheng said with a complex expression. Hearing this, Yu Xiaogang turned around and said to Tang San, Xiao San, there are some things I will explain to you later. Tianheng, come with me, I have something to ask you. As the two of them walked out of the room, Qin Ming did not expect that Yu Xiaogang, a 29th level Great Soul Master, would actually be a member of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. Dean, I have something else I want to discuss with you. Look. After seeing the cultivation level of Tang San and others, Qin Ming felt that they must be merged into Tiando Royal Academy, otherwise, based on Shrek Academy's current situation, these juniors might not have the chance to participate in the Soul Master competition. Okay. Mistress, take care of Hongjun. With that said, Flanders took Qin Ming to a side room. Dean, I'm afraid. Thinking of Ma Hongjun's tragic experience, Qin Ming felt a sense of guilt in his heart. If he didn't let Ling Xiao play, maybe this kind of thing could be avoided. Flanders smiled bitterly, but did not dwell too much on this issue. The deal is already done, and there is no point in blaming anyone. It is better to think about how to make Ma Hongjun grow back. Dean, I wonder how the college has been doing over the years. Have you obtained a place to participate in the Soul Master competition? Qin Ming asked. Hearing this, Flanders felt bad. The Ministry of Education of the Kingdom of Barak has always refused to approve the registration of their college because of the inconsistent teaching philosophy. Moreover, Barak Advanced Soul Master Academy has not proposed to admit them in recent years. Dean, do you want the juniors to be like me? Qin Ming continued, this year, the college has the best chance of putting together a team. If you can't participate in the Soul Master competition, are you really willing to do it? Flanders opened his mouth, but hesitated. Shrek Academy was his hard work, and they were unwilling to give up just like that, but what Qin Ming said was also true. Yu Xiaogang took Tang San to join their academy, most likely for the Soul Master competition. Other students, including his own disciple Ma Hongjun, are the geniuses of this generation. Only after participating in the Soul Master competition can they rectify their names in the Soul Master world. Xiao Ming, hey, Shrek Academy has existed for 20 years after all, and the teachers in the academy, including me, have feelings. Even if we join other academies, we may not have a quota to participate. Qin Ming smiled and said, Dean, don't worry. After I go back, I will recommend Shrek Academy to the 3 education committee members. The current strength of the juniors is enough to become students of Tiando Royal Academy. And, with a few, the teacher's strength is completely comparable to mine, and he can become a Tianda-level teacher and have a stable income of 10,000 gold soul coins every month. The most important thing is that our college has 2 participating places. For each Soul Master competition, we can only assemble a strong team. I think it is more appropriate to give the other places to the juniors. Flanders shook his head. Xiao Ming, no. Shrek Academy is also your alma mater. Do you want him to disappear? Joining another academy means that the words Shrek have completely disappeared. In the future, even if Tang San and the others really stand at the top of the continent, it will not be due to their Shrek Academy. Qin Ming thought for a while and said, Dean, I will suggest to the 3 education committee members that the original name of Shrek Academy should be retained, and a separate place in the academy should be open for you to teach. Flanders had no reason to refuse such conditions. But, can Qin Ming really do it? Xiao Ming, let's forget it. As teachers, how can we embarrass you? Qin Ming explained, Dean, you may not know the situation of Tiando Royal Academy. 90% of the students in the academy are playboys. And the resources allocated by the academy at each period of time are calculated based on the total number of people. The dandy basically won't touch these resources, they just keep piling them up there. Some time ago, the 3 education committee members gave me the right to allocate resources. If you, the dean, can bring the junior students, and teachers into the college, I can tilt these resources to you. Resources. Flanders' eyes lit up. The resources used for cultivation will be more expensive as the soul power level is higher. For example, Flanders and Zhao Wuji, due to lack of resources, the improvement of their soul power has basically stagnated. Xiao Ming, I have to discuss this matter with Lao Zhao and the others. I will give you an answer tomorrow. This time, Flanders did not refuse in a hurry. Outside the hotel, Yu Tianheng and Yu Xiaogang were walking and talking. Tianheng, you are already level 39, and you are not far away from the soul sect. Yu Xiaogang said, with your strength, you should be the strongest among the imperial fighters, right? Yu Tianheng smiled bitterly, shook his head and denied, Uncle Xiaogang, a few months ago, I was indeed the strongest in the team. However, Dugu Yan and Yilingling's soul power now exceeds mine, and they are already soul sections. The surname is Dugu. Are you a descendant of that jade phosphorus Douluo? Yu Xiaogang suddenly thought. Yes, Yanzi's grandfather is Poison Douluo Dugyabo, and I am also in a relationship with her. Yu Xiaogang's eyes suddenly lit up. If Yu Tianheng marries Dugu Yan, it means that Dugu Bo will join the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, which will greatly improve the family. Tianheng, you have done a good job. If I return to the family in the future, I will definitely support you in taking over the position of sect leader. Yu Tianheng smiled bitterly again and shook his head. Uncle Xiaogang, my father sent me a message a few days ago. The elders of Tianxin's lineage think that Yanzi's soul power exceeds mine, and they feel that I am relying on women. They say bad things about me everywhere in the clan. Looking at the whole continent, this matter of eating soft food is extremely common, but the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family did not allow it. Yu Yuanjin even said that dragons are proud. Even if they die standing, they cannot live on their knees. Yu Tianheng's matter was nothing at all, but once it got bigger, he would no longer be able to inherit the position of clan leader. However, he didn't know that Dugu Bo was secretly fueling the incident. Yu Xiaogang began to think, first of all, Yu Tianheng's talent is definitely the best in this generation of his family. Moreover, the relationship between the family and the Tiando Empire is not very good. Originally, Thunder Academy was the place where their sect disciples studied. But in order to defeat Yu Tianxin, Yu Tianheng went to Tiando Royal Academy. If they absorb him into Shrek Academy, they can form a team of 7. Moreover, with Yu Tianheng's strength cooperating with Tang San, their chances of winning the championship are undoubtedly higher. After Zhu Zhuqing is in place, he can also eliminate Ma Hongjun from the last place. After all, Tang San was the only way for him to prove himself, and he didn't want to be dragged down by people like Ma Hongjun. Tianheng, in this case, you might as well come to our Shrek Academy. You should know Tang San, he is my disciple. Chapter 95. This is a secret method that benefits the Soul Master world. Why should they monopolize I? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Uncle Xiaogang, I heard about you in the family. Are you planning to let Tang San prove your theory? Yu Tianheng said in surprise. Speaking of Tang San, the corners of Yu Xiaogang's mouth turned up unconsciously. Yes, Xiaosan is my disciple. Over the years, he has been practicing according to my theories. Yu Tianheng still had some respect for Tang San. In last night's spirit fight, if Tang San hadn't suddenly exploded at the end, Team Shrek would have lost long ago, but Tang San was able to injure many of them with his own strength. Such strength was truly terrifying. Tianheng, come here. Everyone in Shrek Academy has good talents. In the future, they can also help you. Yu Xiaogang said again. Yu Tianheng was a little tangled and said, Uncle Xiaogang. Yanzi and the others improved their soul power so quickly because of a secret method mastered by Dugu Bo. After this secret method was improved by Hanyu, they were able to increase their soul power by several levels without any side effects. Force. What, there is such a thing? Tianheng, are you sure they didn't use evil methods? Yu Xiaogang said quickly, it can increase soul power without any side effects. The value of this secret method is self-evident. If it was true, he would naturally want it. Yu Xiaogang believes that with his knowledge, he will be able to improve the secret method even better, and then take it back to the family as a secret method for inheritance. No one will look down upon him. Uncle Xiaogang, Yanzi told me that this secret method can only be taught to me with Han Yu's approval. Therefore, I cannot leave the academy for a short period of time. Han Yu. Yu Xiaogang snorted coldly. If this secret method is true, it is a secret method that benefits the Soul Master world. Why should they monopolize it? Tianheng, don't let him fool you, this guy is just a rat. In one breath, he scolded Hanyu bloody and even spread rumors that Hanyu had bad habits. Yu Tianheng was a little unsure and said, Uncle Xiaogang, do you mean that this secret method is fake? Yu Xiaogang shook his head. I can't make a conclusion until I see the effect with my own eyes. Since Du Guyan is your lover, then you should go to her directly. Instead of going through that Han Yu. Suddenly, his tone became a little more serious. Tianheng, you have to let Du Guyan leave quickly. Han Yu. That guy is probably interested in Du Guyan. Not recalling Yu Xiaogang's words, Yu Tianheng felt that it was true. After all, the green grassland above your head is not glorious. Uncle Xiaogang, I'll go back first. If possible, I also want Yanzi to join Shrek Academy. No problem, Tianheng, go and come back quickly. Yu Xiaogang returned to the hotel, and after briefly talking to Tang San about Yu Tianheng and his family, he was pulled into a side room by Flandre. Dean, what's the matter with you calling us over? Zhao Wuji asked in confusion. The financial situation of the college has improved with the sponsorship of Dai Mubai and others, and it can still survive at least in the short term. Xiao Ming tell me. As he spoke, Flanders showed some reluctance. Indeed, Qin Ming's conditions are very tempting, but it is not pleasant to be under someone else's roof. I think we can agree to Qin Ming's proposal. Yu Xiaogang said, Flanders, you should know what the conditions of the academy are now. Even if you have the ability to handle these, you can still get the quota for the Soul Master competition. In this competition, Xiao San and the others are still young, so they should practice in advance. In the next competition, according to Xiao San's talents, it is not impossible for all the members to become Soul Kings. You should know that even the Wuhundian team that won the championship in previous years only had 2 or 3 Soul Kings. The champion of the Soul Master competition is a golden sign. Not only the participating students, but also the college will take off as a result. Zhao Wuji thought for a while and said, Dean, the mimicry training ground is the best place for Soul Masters to practice in the early stage. With the financial resources of our Shrek Academy, it is probably impossible to build it. Therefore, I think we can agree to Xiao Ming's proposal. The cost of building each mimicry training ground is extremely high. Even an old academy like 4 Elements cannot build many. Do you think the 3 major academies, Qihua, Tianshui, and Shenfeng, don't want to expand their enrollment? It's just that their financial resources are not enough to maintain the expenses of so many mimic repair fields, so they can only resort to the next best thing and choose to absorb Soul Masters with a single attribute. On the other hand, the Tiando Royal Academy is backed by the big tree of the Tiando Empire and has training grounds and other facilities. It can be said that it is no problem for them to just move in with their bags. As soon as he returned to the hotel, Yu Tianheng approached. Du Guyan, at this time, Han Yu was teaching Du Guyan how to control fire. The fire of the nether poison fire blends perfectly with her, but it is not an easy task to invoke it. Just like Han Yu back then, every time he invoked the strange fire, he would lose a lot of mental power. Tianheng, where have you been so early in the morning? Yi Lingling, who was practicing beside him, couldn't help but ask. Yu Tianheng looked at this scene, his face darkened. Yanzi, come with me, I have something to tell you. Go ahead, come here today. Han Yu said calmly. A long time has passed since morning, and Du Guyan's anger has subsided a little. After responding, she followed Yu Tianheng and left. Teacher, Yu Tianheng has been asking Sister Yanzi about the secret method. Yi Lingling came to Han Yu and whispered the situation. Han Yu was not surprised by this. Even Qin Ming was thinking about this idea, so how could Yu Tianheng let it go? After returning to the room, he checked the image soul guide terminal again. Yu Tianheng did go to Shrek Academy in the morning, but he and Yu Xiaogang went out later, and the content of the subsequent conversation is unknown. Qin Ming, on the other hand, actually expressed his inner thoughts so straightforwardly. Han Yu only needs to hand over this piece of content to Xuexing, and Qin Ming will die. However, there was no need to rush the matter. Han Yu decided to let them witness Qin Ming's tragic death on the day Shrek arrived in Tiando City. Putting away the soul guide, Han Yu opened a letter. There was no signature on this letter, but it was sent by the master of Wuhuan Hall in Soto City. This letter must come from the top of Wuhuan Hall. He has no relationship with Bibi Dong, so it could only be from Qian Renshua. Opening the letter, you can see the contents at a glance. The general meaning is that if the academy wants to be established, Han Yu needs to go to Wuhuan Hall in person to communicate the details. Moreover, Qian Renshua has already opened some links. and Han Yu only needs to follow the requirements. The land that Qian Renshua promised has been filled in, but the Tiando Empire has been stuck with the academy qualifications, making it impossible for Wuhuan Palace to start building the academy. Martial Spirit Hall, it seems that we have to go there this time. Han Yu touched his chin. Not long ago, after Han Yu's request, Eo Feng intended to join Han Yu's new college, but he would not go there until the college was completed. Chapter 96 Tang San Painting Cake. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the evening, Yu Tianheng came to Qin Ming's room. Tianheng, have you decided to join Shrek Academy? Qin Ming was a little surprised when he suddenly heard the other party's words. After a moment of pause, he said, Tianheng, you need the consent of your elders to transfer to another school. This is the rule of the college. Qin Ming really hopes that Yu Tianheng will go to Shrek Academy. It wouldn't be a big problem to merge Shrek Academy into Tiando Royal Academy, but the academy would be full of aristocratic children, and these people would inevitably find trouble. Since Yu Tianheng became Shrek's student, he could use the family power behind him to intimidate these young students. Teacher Qin, I have discussed it with my uncle, and he should send the letter soon. Yu Tianheng said solemnly. Not long ago, he had a heated conversation with Du Guyan for a while. This time, neither party gave in. The result can be imagined. As for Yu Tianheng, his soul power level is not the highest among the team. If he occupies the position of captain, he will inevitably attract gossip. However, if he gives up his position, he will be embarrassed and humiliated. Du Guyan clearly would not teach him the secret technique, so he would lose the chance to surpass Du Guyan. On the contrary, Shrek Academy, with teammates like Tang San and Dai Mubai, was not weaker than the Huangdo team. Qin Ming suddenly smiled and walked forward slowly. He patted Yu Tianheng on the shoulder and said, You don't have to wait for your uncle to deliver the letter. Let's go there tonight. If an elder comes forward, Qin Ming will naturally be willing to let him go. As for Yu Xiaogang's letter, just take it back and deal with the 3 education committee members. Fat man, calm down. Third brother, how can you tell me to calm down? It's over, all my happiness for the rest of my life is gone. Ma Hongjun shouted hysterically. The 2 girls from Shrek did not appear here, otherwise Ma Hongjun would have been even more uncomfortable. Tang San didn't know how to comfort Ma Hongjun. After thinking for a long time, he said, Fat man, maybe the situation is not that bad. Xiaosan, I know you want to persuade Hongjun, but this matter. Flanders hesitated to speak, but Tang San said firmly, No, Dean, I know how to make Fatty recover. 1 stone stirs up 1,000 waves. Ma Hongjun stopped crying after hearing this. There was even more light in Flanders's eyes. He grabbed Tang San's arms with both hands and asked, Xiaosan, tell me what we can do. Third brother, my future happiness depends entirely on you. Ma Hongjun said with hope. Tang San said, Dean, Fatty, what I'm talking about is just a possibility. Whether it can succeed or not depends on our luck. I once read in an ancient book that there is a kind of water of life in the world that can cure any injury. According to legend, as long as anyone drinks even a drop of the water of life, it is possible for a broken limb to be reborn and to be rejuvenated. Yu Xiaogang answered, Yes, I have heard of the water of life. However, Xiaosan is not entirely sure. The main function of the water of life is to restore the vitality in the body. Thousands of years ago, a member of the Wuhuan Palace the Pope lived 40 more years just by relying on a drop of water of life. This is a longevity thing. Do we have a chance to get it? Originally, both Ma Hongjun and Dai Mubai had hopes for this. But after hearing Flanders' words, they were like eggplants as big as frost, and the smiles on their faces instantly froze. It is not an exaggeration to say that this item is a must-have for promotion and wealth. After all, many people in high positions are elderly, and who doesn't want to live a few more years? For Ma Hongjun, if he really gets such a rare thing, he has to think carefully whether he wants to be promoted and make a fortune, or to restore his majesty. Dean, I heard you say that the academy is planning to move to Tiando City. I think we might be able to find the water of life in the capital of the Tiando Empire. Tang San looked at Ma Hongjun and said seriously. Yu Xiaogang echoed, what Xiaosan said makes sense. Not everyone in the world knows what's good, and it's not impossible to pick up leaks. When he said this, he was naturally irritating Flanders. They did discuss Qin Ming's proposal before, but Flanders had not made up his mind. Flanders sighed, and understood what he should do. Coincidentally, Qin Ming and Yu Tianheng knocked on the door at this time. Yu Xiaogang took the initiative to open the door to greet him, and after checking his eyes, he confirmed that Yu Tianheng would join Shrek Academy. Flanders, Tianheng will also be our Shrek student from now on. After regaining consciousness, Flanders said with a surprised look on his face, "What, Xiaogang, are you not joking?" "Dean Flanders, what Uncle Xiaogang said is true. After thinking about it, I decided to join Shrek Academy. I don't know if you are willing to do it." Yu Tianheng said with a smile. According to Shrek's rules, Yu Tianheng is already over 12 years old and will not be admitted. However, rules are dead and people are alive. How could Flanders not want such a genius? "Welcome, little monsters, we have finally assembled a team of 7 people today. For the future fighting spirits, there is no need to form outsiders. Tianheng, welcome." Tang San stood up and was the first to express his stance. Yu Tianheng's previous attitude made him feel good about him. Moreover, the opponent's strength was not weak and he could make up for the team's shortcomings. "Tang San, it's an honor to be your teammate. As your opponent, you are formidable, but as your teammate, I can completely hand my back to you." Yu Tianheng responded with a smile. I didn't fight with you last time, Tianheng. Now that you have come to Shrek Academy, we will have a good competition from now on." Dai Mubai showed off his muscles and said with confidence. "Mubai, please give me your advice in the future. Xiaosan, please take Tianheng to introduce your classmates first. We still have something to discuss." Yu Xiaogang said, recalling Ma Hongjuan's situation. Flender finally relaxed and agreed to take students to join Tiando Royal Academy. There is no way, even if there is water of life for sale now, they have no money to buy it. With his back against a big tree to enjoy the shade, and with the support of Tiando Royal Academy, Ma Hongjuan's physical recovery is just around the corner. Qin Ming took the opportunity to tell some of his plans, which roughly meant providing unlimited training. Resources for everyone in Shrek in the academy. In order not to lose his temper, Qin Ming specifically explained many countermeasures. "Don't worry, Xiao Ming, we know what to do," Flanders said with a smile. It's easy to do things when you have acquaintances. He finally realized that, after talking about important matters, Yu Xiaogang hurriedly asked. "By the way, Qin Ming, I heard from Tianheng that Han Yu has mastered a secret method that allows a soul master to increase his soul power by several levels without any side effects. Do you know this?" "Master, let's do this." Qin Ming told everything he knew. Except for Du Guyan, the soul power of several students Han Yu brought to the academy suddenly increased several levels in those few days. Moreover, he checked their soul power aura afterwards. Not only is there no evil aura, but even the soul power is not frivolous. Chapter 97. As soon as Yu Xiaogang entered the palace. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So, they have indeed mastered this secret method. Yu Xiaogang touched his chin, his face suddenly darkened. If such a secret method can be carried forward, it will definitely benefit soul masters across the continent. This Han Yu is really a sinner in the soul master world. Of course, he only dared to talk about it. If he was asked to go to Han Yu, he would definitely be unhappy. After a moment of silence, Qin Ming asked, "Dean, I will be returning with the Royal Fighter team in the next 2 days. Do you want to come with me?" "No, we will come back to you in a month." In this month, just say goodbye to Shrek Academy, Flanders added silently. Qin Ming didn't say anything, got up and left alone. Yu Tianheng is now a student of Shrek and there is no need to go back with him. After Shrek Academy settled in Tiando Royal Academy, Yu Tianheng returned to the academy after taking a full circle. This cannot be considered as a dereliction of duty on his part. In the early morning 2 days later, Han Yu gave instructions to Yi Lingling and others before leaving the team alone. In the letter, Qian Renshue asked him to go to Wuhuan City. If he set off now, he could arrive there at the appointed time. Before setting off, Han Yu decided to find trouble with Yu Xiaogang. this guy is so talkative and will smear and spread rumors about him for no reason. How can he endure this? Wanhua system releases a task to establish a college of its own and will be rewarded with a strange fire. Hey, it seems I have to work harder. Han Yu smiled. These days, he has received some system rewards from Yilingling and the others. A self-created soul skill book about stick techniques, and a 20,000-year-old soul bone. He has been practicing his self-created soul skills in the past few days, but he has not absorbed the soul bones. This soul bone is just kept, and when Zhu Zhuqing and the others achieve good results in the Soul Master competition, it will not be too late to reward them. After sending Yilingling and others away, Han Yu quickly found Yu Xiaojiang's traces in the city. Humph, you made money from our Shrek, and you still want to give it away. Yu Xiaojiang was on his way to the Great Soul Fighting Arena at this time. Ming accidentally revealed that if the Shrek team lost the game, the Great Soul Fighting Arena would gain the most. Moreover, this spirit fight was originally arranged by the Big Spirit Fight Arena. Tang San and the others were seriously injured, and the Great Spirit Fighting Arena didn't even give them a dime. How could Yu Xiaojiang endure this? Since you have made so much money, it's not too much for me to ask for treatment fees. Han Yu followed him and couldn't help but stop when he saw him walking into the Great Soul Fighting Arena. There was no other way. If he went in directly and was recognized by the people in the Spirit Fighting Arena, he would not be able to keep up with Yu Xiaojiang. In a deserted corner, Han Yu walked in after some disguise. At this time, Yu Xiaojiang had already approached Director Ao. What can I do for you? In the office, Manager Ao asked with an unhappy expression. When he asked someone for help, Yu Xiaojiang was very angry at him. Now that the soul fighting is over, he is not Yu Xiaojiang's parents, so naturally he will no longer spoil him. Ha, is this your attitude? Yu Xiaojiang put his hands behind his back, his nostrils pointed in the sky, looking like he was asking for a beating. If you have nothing to do, please leave my office. I'm very busy. Director Ao frowned. Yu Xiaojiang sneered and said, our Shrek team participated in the spirit fight at your invitation. Now, my team member is injured. Shouldn't you pay for the treatment in the spirit fight arena? Manager Ao sneered. He had never seen such a shameless person. Team Shrek's participation in the spirit battle is a matter of mutual consent, and besides, the spirit fighting arena has already paid 10,000 gold soul coins. Now, it is nothing to come to their soul fighting arena to ask for treatment fees. If this is the case, in the future, everyone who is injured in the Great Spirit Fighting Arena will come to ask for treatment fees. Manager Ao stood up and said in a serious tone, Mr. Yu Xiaojiang, I don't want to pay attention to your unreasonable troubles. Please leave here. If you want to sign up for the Shrek team, for the sake of getting acquainted, I can give it to you. Cut in. But if you continue to refuse, don't blame me for being rude. Han Yu took action to injure the Soul Masters in the Soul Fighting Arena. In the final analysis, it was Shrek's people who provoked him first. The Great Soul Fighting Arena did not cause any trouble for them, which was already a great honor. If you don't pay me today, you won't even think about our Shrek team being here to participate in even one more spirit fight. Yu Xiaojiang said angrily with his eyes spitting fire. You think too highly of yourself. Director Ao's voice couldn't help but become louder. There are quite a few permanent teams in the Great Soul Fighting Arena. To be honest, after the Imperial Fighting Team left, the Shrek team had no use value. Yu Xiaojiang actually wanted to use this as a blackmail, which was simply nonsense. Come here, please get this gentleman out. Manager Ao did not finish the matter. After all, there is a powerful soul saint behind Shrek, so it is not appropriate to offend him. How dare you, if you don't pay me today, I won't leave. Yu Xiaojiang came out to ask for this money. Naturally it was for Tang San. Because there were not enough hidden weapons to protect Xiao Wu, Tang San specifically asked Yu Xiaojiang to borrow money in order to avoid the previous embarrassment in the next soul battle. Originally, Yu Xiaojiang had some pension funds, but they were all robbed while he was in Nodding City. Now, just relying on the monthly subsidy of 10 gold soul coins, I can't save much money at all. It's no wonder that Tang San asked him to be his father. he would really do it if something happened. The guards from the great fighting arena walked into the office. One of them took one of Yu Xiaogang's arms and took him out. Let me go. Yu Spirit Fighting Arena has made so much money relying on Team Shrek, but you're not even willing to pay for treatment. Yu Xiaogang cursed while struggling. By chance, Han Yu saw this scene. Yu Xiaogang is disturbing public order, right? Han Yu touched his chin, seeming to have a good idea. Not long after, Yu Xiaogang was thrown out of the Great Soul Fighting Arena as expected, but he had no intention of leaving. Instead, in the square of the Great Soul Fighting Arena, he cursed the black heart of the Soul Fighting Arena. Han Yu sent a letter to the Master Kaisi of the Wuhuan Palace in Soto City. Previously, the senior officials of Wuhuan Palace sent a letter through Palace Master Kaisi, and she naturally understood Han Yu's special status. When she received Han Yu's letter, she immediately made arrangements. The Great Soul Fighting Arena is one of the pillar industries of Soto City, and the owner of Soto City is also the shareholder behind it. He was already having a headache after being hit by Han Yu before, but now that he heard someone making trouble there, he naturally couldn't bear it. Moreover, this time Master Kaisi personally asked him to pay attention to this matter. Suddenly, a large number of city guards were mobilized and went to the Great Soul Fighting Arena to arrest Yu Xiaogang. Why are you arresting me? What crime have I committed? Yu Xiaogang shouted that he was wronged, causing the citizens passing by to stop and watch. The captain of the city guard gave Yu Xiaogang a slap in the face. If you disturb the order in the city, I will imprison you for half a month. Please accept it. Perhaps he was stunned by the slap. Yu Xiaogang shook his head dully. Chapter 98 Prison Xiaogang's Top Treatment, given by Wan Geng. Please subscribe and vote monthly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Lord of Soto City is a law-abiding person after all. Although Yu Xiaogang makes him feel unhappy, according to the laws of the Tiando Empire, he can only be imprisoned for half a month at most. However, this half-month was enough for Yu Xiaogang to live a comfortable life. Han Yu watched Yu Xiaogang enter the prison with his own eyes and then left with satisfaction. Why are you arresting me? Let me go. Yu Xiaogang, who had regained consciousness, was unwilling to accept the reality for a moment and shouted crazily in the cell. It is a pity that there are no perverted characters in the cells in Soto City, so Yu Xiaogang's but was spared. However, his shouts irritated the jailer. They picked up the excrement bucket nearby and threw it towards Yu Xiaogangs cell. If you keep yelling randomly, I will eat everything in this bucket. A jailer angrily scolded. Smelling such a pungent smell, Yu Xiaogang immediately calmed down. He kept praying in his heart that Flanders and Tang San could come to rescue him. Boss, the superiors have told us to give this guy some color. Several jailers discussed in a low voice. The leader was a burly man with a strong back and a strong waist. His murderous face could make people feel frightened just by looking at him. It's okay. This guy Yu Xiaogang is in a separate cell. It seems that there is a lot of swill and excrement in the cell and there is no place to dump it. The big man said simply, and the people below understood immediately. From now on, Yu Xiaogang's meals will be this swill. As for whether the swill will be splashed on the feces, it depends on Yu Xiaogang's own luck. After leaving Soto City, Han Yu rushed towards Wuhuan City without stopping. Now that he has a systematic task, he has to be more diligent. A few days later, he followed the map's guidance and arrived in front of Wuhuan City. Compared with Tiando City, Wuhuan City's commercial prosperity is relatively poor. However, this is the holy land of soul masters. Countless soul masters even traveled thousands of miles to come here in order to see the true face of the Pope. Somewhat similar to the medieval church in Blue Star. In a sense, Wuhundian is more like a religious organization. When they walked to the city gate, the city guard had no intention of asking for the fee to enter the city, but just asked Han Yu to show him the Soul Master's handbook. Only Soul Masters can enter Wuhuan City. Ordinary people, unless invited, are strictly prohibited from entering. This has led to the fact that there are so many masters in Wuhuan City, and maybe the person sweeping the streets may be a powerful soul saint. Coincidentally, such a middle-aged man appeared in Han Yu's sight. This man had the power of a soul saint, and while sweeping the streets, he kept mumbling something. Obviously, he was punished because he made a mistake. When Han Yu saw this, he just smiled and didn't stay too long. He was also a little tired after a long and dusty journey. Entering a random restaurant, Han Yu planned to fill his stomach first and then go to the worship hall. "Guest, this is your first time coming to our Wuhuan city." The service staff greeted with a smile. "Yeah. I'm here to do something. Bring over whatever signature dishes you have here." Han Yu said casually. However, the waiter did not comply. Instead, he smiled and said to him, "Guest, you don't need to order. Not long ago, a gentleman booked a private room with us. I will take you there right now." Han Yu searched in his mind and found no one he knew from the original owner or himself in Wuhuan City. However, he has the strength of Contra and is not afraid of this person at all. When soldiers come to cover up the water and earth, who is afraid of whom? The service staff took Han Yu to the private room on the third floor. Along the way, Han Yu also saw through the layout of this place. There are some individual tables in the lobby on the first floor, and individual private rooms on the second floor. As for the third floor, there is only one private room, and the decoration is as luxurious as that of the palace. The person who can book a table here must have an extraordinary background. As soon as he arrived in front of the private room door, a voice came from inside. "Come in." Han Yu could sense that this was a sound transmission method that forced the sounds into lines. The disciple is definitely a title Douluo, and his strength is not low. After pushing open the door, Han Yu walked in slowly. In his sight, a man's back appeared. This man was wearing a dark, luxurious robe, and his long golden hair was spread behind him and neatly combed. Just sitting there, Han Yu felt that he was out of reach. "This junior is here for the first time, and I don't know my senior. Do you dare to ask my senior's name?" Han Yu asked, cupping his fists. He can guess the identity of the other party, but in the outside world, he is just a 27-year-old young man with no background, and it is impossible to know this kind of existence. You know, this kind of strong person can easily catch the loopholes in these details. "Ha, I Kiendo Oliu, you can also call me to worship." Kiendo Oliu's voice gave people a calm and comfortable feeling. One of the three peerless Douluo, the invincible Kiendo Oliu in the sky. Even though Han Yu was blessed with a variety of strange fires, he had almost no chance of winning against such a powerful person. "Great worshipper, are you Qian Renshue's elder?" Han Yu asked again. "Haha, yes, I am Shuer's grandfather. Come and sit here. Shuer thinks very highly of you. I also want to meet you, this young Contra." Han Yu nodded slightly. He walked to the opposite side of Qian Daolu and sat down cross-legged. The table was already filled with sumptuous food. Even with Han Yu's current income, it would be unrealistic to order such a large table of delicious food. "I wonder what the great worshipper wants to do with this junior," Qian Daolu said calmly. "Shuer told me that you want to use the resources of Wuhuan Palace to open a high-level Soul Master Academy in the Tiando Empire. I want to ask, what is your purpose of doing this? It is simply unbelievable that a genius like Han Yu wants to establish an academy." When he learned the news, Qian Daolu thought about it for a long time but still couldn't figure it out. No, when they sensed Han Yu's aura and came to Wuhuan City, such a table was set up. Of course, the most important thing is that the worship hall and the Douluo hall are together. Soul masters who have not reached the title of Douluo are absolutely prohibited from entering. I don't like fighting. Qian Renshue invited me to join the spirit hall. I can't afford to be free. Therefore, it would be good to cultivate some talents for the spirit master world. Han Yu responded. Glib. Qian Daolu naturally didn't believe Han Yu's lies, but at present, he was quite satisfied with Han Yu and felt the need to recruit him into the enshrinement hall. With a wave of his hand, 2 tokens floated in front of Han Yu. One of the tokens is a papal decree with 6 patterns. The other piece has a pattern engraved with the spirit of the seraphim. It won't be long before you can enter the realm of title Douluo. It doesn't matter if I give you these 2 tokens in advance. The first papal token symbolizes the identity of the elder of Wuhuan Hall. The other angel token it symbolizes that you are the 8th enshrinement in the future. Good guy, did you make clear arrangements for my future when you first came here? Han Yu couldn't help but smile in his heart. However, Han Yu has no interest in becoming a worshipper or something. He joined Wuhuan Palace purely to win over investors. After all, the cost of setting up a college is high. Chapter 99 Wuhundian Academy, please subscribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Later, you will go to Wuhundian Academy. If you want to become the dean of the new Academy of Wuhundian, you still need to pass the assessment of Dean Tianchen. After saying that, Qian Daoliu's figure turned into a golden light and disappeared into the air. Han Yu sighed. No matter which world it is, exams are the main theme. Of course, the examination for the dean of the college will not be limited to the theoretical level. Han Yu didn't know if he could pass. Moreover, after passing, it is still unknown whether the resources obtained by the academy will be provided by Wuhuan Palace. In short, it would be inappropriate for the dean to let Han Yu handle the resource issues by himself. Hey, that his stomach let out a grief. Looking at so many expensive delicacies in front of him, Han Yu quickly picked up his chopsticks and started to eat happily. So much delicious food cannot be wasted. After the meal, the sky gradually darkened. Han Yu tidied up his appearance and ran out of the hotel. However, he soon turned back. Damn it, where on earth is this Wuhundian Academy? Wuhuan City is so big that flying is not allowed yet. I searched every street, but I didn't know that I would find the year of the monkey, the horse, and the moon. After asking the waiter at the restaurant, Han Yu got the map to the academy. This restaurant often receives visitors from outside the city, and they have prepared a lot of maps leading from the restaurant to various places in the city. Even the well-informed Han Yu couldn't help praising this store for its business skills. In front of Wuhundian Academy, a young man who yawned repeatedly stood straight at the door. Little brother, I'm here to find Dean Tianchen. Can you lead the way? Han Yu walked up and asked with a smile. The young man was stunned for a moment, and then said ecstatically, Senior, you are finally here. Come on, the dean is waiting for you. With that said, the young man led Han Yu towards the academy. It can be seen that he should have been arranged to pick up people here very early. What's your name? Han Yu couldn't help but ask on the way. Senior, my name is Su Yu, and I am a student in the first grade of high school. He is not a high school student from Blue Star. The high here refers to the advanced class of Wuhundian Academy, which is similar to the Tiando level class of Tiando Royal Academy. And Class 1 is the top class among the advanced classes. Han Yu suddenly remembered that Su Yu seemed to be the auxiliary Soul Master of the Wuhuan Palace team in the Soul Master competition. Moreover, his martial spirit is second only to the Qibao Glazed Pagoda's golden power in recorded history. But he is a Soul Master under Bibi Dong, and Han Yu is not easy to win over. It's a pity that the Soul Master competition is a personal show of the Golden Generation. He can be regarded as a foil at most. Even if the Wuhundian team wins the championship, outsiders will only think that this is the contribution of the Golden Generation, and no one will care about a person who takes the prize. Senior, the dean said that you are a very important guest of the college, but I feel that you are not much older than me. Su Yu said curiously. Age doesn't mean everything. Han Yu said with a smile. Su Yu scratched his head and asked no more questions. Not long after, a quaint building appeared in front of Han Yu. This building covers a large area, but it only has one floor. The weathered and dilapidated stone bricks on the exterior wall are in sharp contrast with the surrounding buildings. Su Yu introduced with pride. Senior, our Wuhundian Academy has a history of more than 7,000 years, even longer than the history of the two empires. This building, the dean's office, has been renovated countless times over the years, but its appearance is not the same. No repainting. The dean told us that the purpose of keeping this building is to let everyone know the long history of the college. Wuhuan Palace itself has a history of tens of thousands of years, and it is not surprising that there is an academy with a history of 7,000 years. Well, Senior, I can't go in. The dean is inside. You go find him. Han Yu nodded and walked toward the building alone. Su Yu reminded, Senior, remember to show your token. The dean has a weird temper, so you can't offend him. Token? Han Yu thought for a moment and found that the only tokens he had that could be used in Wuhuan Hall were the two given by Qian Daoluo. He took out the papal decree and showed it to the guard standing guard at the door. Elder Han, the dean is in the innermost office. Come in quickly. The guard bowed and said. You know me? That it had only been half a day since he got the papal decree, so someone knew his identity so soon. Elder Han, each papal decree has its own name, but outsiders can't see it. Han Yu shrugged and didn't ask any more questions. There are many bookshelves in the dean's room. Most of the secretaries above are ancient books with a sense of age. At this time, a middle-aged man with some white temples came to Han Yu. Are you Mr. Han Yu? Are you Dean Tianqian? Han Yu asked tentatively. The middle-aged man smiled and said, yes, I am Tianqian. Sit down quickly, I also want to ask you something. With that said, he pulled Han Yu aside. Then, he took out a brand new book from the bookshelf. This book is very thin, but the author on it is about Han Yu. I remember I didn't publish a book. Han Yu said with a puzzled look. Oh, this is the Notting City Spirit Hall integrating the scattered theories you wrote down during your time at Notting College. Currently, more than 50% of junior Soul Master colleges have collections. Am I that popular? Han Yu murmured silently. Academic research on Douluo continent is very difficult. It is even more difficult to get recognition from so many people. After so many years of development as a Soul Master, the theory has long been mature, and it is extremely difficult to come up with innovations, and Yu Xiaogang, after working hard for so many years, finally relied on plagiarism to leave his name in the academic circle. Your theory is the most innovative I have seen in the past 40 years. Tianqian opened the book, pointed to one of the theories and said, lawn silver grass is in the treatment department, and it is definitely the best weapon for martial arts in the past 10,000 years. The most revolutionary breakthrough in soul cultivation. Han Yu was a little embarrassed to be praised like this. He learned about the healing system of Lan Yin Chao from Yin. It was an accident, but it happened to be the right one. Of course, this does not change the talent of the blue silver grass soul masters themselves. It can only point them to a way out, and the blue silver grass martial spirit happens to be the most numerous on the mainland. In a village, as long as there is one person who can cultivate to level 10 or above, then the village will be considered to have a village doctor in the future. It may seem like a simple step, but Tianqian knows the pros and cons of it. Mr. Han, you must know that this theory is enough to earn huge popularity. I hope you can use Wuhundian Palace as a platform to publish this theory. For a moment, Han Yu couldn't laugh or cry. To put it bluntly, these theories are only for low-level soul masters. But low-level soul masters are the largest group. It is not helpful for the establishment of Advanced Soul Master Academy. Because of the high threshold of the Advanced Soul Master Academy, they are destined to only recruit Soul Masters who have certain training paths. Chapter 100. It all depends on people. Please subscribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's nothing. I don't know much about this. However, I can't do it until I leave Tiando Royal Academy. Han Yu said. Currently, he is still a teacher at Tiando Royal Academy. If he helped Wuhundian publish a book at this time, wouldn't he be cast aside by thousands of people? Of course, Tiando Royal Academy had no intention of helping him publish a book, so doing so was not considered cheating. Okay, Mr. Han Yu, on behalf of Wuhundian Palace, I would like to express my gratitude to you. With that said, Tianqian slowly stood up and was about to salute. Han Yu quickly stopped me and said, Dean Tianqian is too polite. I only hope that the palace can provide greater help to my new college. Okay. Tianqian smiled heartily, and then he turned the book to the last page. Mr. Han, I can answer your 2 guesses for you. My father is the 2nd enshrined golden crocodile Douluo in the enshrinement hall, and his 9th spirit ring is a 100,000-year spirit ring. Your guess about the 100,000-year-old soul ring and soul bone is correct. What? Han Yu looked surprised. What surprised him was not Tianqian's answer, but Tianqian's father. He didn't expect that the dean of Wuhundian Academy was actually a 2nd-generation ancestor. Couldn't the girl he saw that day be his daughter? Tianqian added, if Mr. Han is willing, I can ask my father to show it in person. Han Yu's talent and strength have been cultivated by the Consecration Hall as his future successor. Of course, he took over the class of other worshippers and assisted Qian Renxue when she grew up. With such a talent, just to satisfy curiosity, there is no loss to Wuhundian Palace. No. Well, I wonder if Mr. Han still has doubts. I have heard about what happened to you before. Today is different from the past. Now that you are also the elder of my Wuhuan palace, you are naturally qualified to know some secrets. If you have any conjectures, you can bring them out and we can discuss and study them together. Tianqian said seriously. Han Yu started thinking, researching theories and so on. Originally he just planned to fulfill the original owner's wish, and he had no intention of developing in this area, but seeing Tianqian's serious look, he knew he had to say something. I once heard that when a soul beast reaches 100,000 years, it can only live for another 1,000 years. Are there any soul beasts that are 200,000 years old or even older? After hearing the question, Tianqian thought about it in his mind, feeling that there was no suitable answer. He quickly ran to the bookshelf and started searching. After a long time, he said in a deep voice, "It is recorded in the book that 100,000-year-old soul beast will encounter a terrible disaster after 1,000 years. Once it fails, the body will die. But there is no record about it in the book. The soul beast that successfully survived the catastrophe." Next, the two discussed this issue a lot. Han Yu knew the answer to the question. He hinted at it several times, openly or covertly, but he didn't know if Tianqian would listen. It wasn't until late at night that he left Wuhundian Academy. This guy is not a nerd, and he won't give you an accurate answer on whether it will work or not. Han Yu complained in his heart. At this moment, he looked like a migrant worker waiting for the result of the interview. However, the other party did not allow him to stay in the college, so he still had to solve the accommodation problem as soon as possible. Earlier, why did he say that restaurant would do business? Looking at the map in his hand, he knew that it would be difficult for him not to go back to that restaurant again. Damn it, there is only the destination and the location of that restaurant on the map. After you finish your errands and go back, you will become a repeat customer in an instant. After Han Yu left, Golden Crocodile Douluo walked into Tianqian's office. "Father." Tianqian bowed. Jean Crocodile waved his hand. "Is there any result about Yuer's matter?" Tianqian smiled bitterly and shook his head. "Father, the evolution of martial souls is not caused by man-made things. I just talked to Mr. Han Yu, and he had the same idea as me. The evolution of martial souls the day after tomorrow, in addition to absorbing soul rings and causing mutations, we can only rely on rare items. Wonderful objects always depend on fate. Even if you search all over the world, it may not work. I never believe in relying on God to change fate. Everything depends on man. This matter can only be achieved by relying on man." Jean Crocodile snorted coldly. In fact, Tianqian's martial spirit was not the golden crocodile king of his family, but just an ordinary golden crocodile. Jean Crocodile originally thought that his granddaughter would inherit his martial spirit and create a family legacy, but as luck would have it, her martial spirit was inherited from her father. As for the last trip to the Star Forest, the golden crocodile used the blood of the golden crocodile king's soul beast to allow Tianyue's martial spirit to evolve a little, but this evolution is not comprehensive. Tianyue's martial spirit has only evolved its claws. As for the golden crocodile martial spirit, it is a top-level martial spirit. It is very difficult to evolve it, even though there is only one level difference between the top martial spirit and the super martial spirit. The difference is actually as big as clouds and mud. That boy's soul power has improved very quickly, and he must have a lot of opportunities. When I took Yuer to the Star Do Forest, he even used me to block the knife. He reported to Qian Daolu that someone from the Haotian sect was out. However, the seventh elder quickly fled back, and Qian Daolu did not investigate further. As for the improvement of Han Yu's soul power, almost all the senior officials of the consecration hall knew about it. During the day, Qian Daolu went to see Han Yu, which actually meant testing, since it is certain that he did not rely on evil methods to improve his soul power. He must have a great opportunity on his hands. However, Qian Daolu would not take the initiative to ask about chance. Whether Han Yu was willing to bring it up or not would depend on Jean Crocodile and the others' words. "Father, since you have no hope of breaking through, just read more books if you have nothing to do. How can it be so easy to evolve a martial soul? Even Yu Xiaogang and Yu Yuanjin have not found a way until now." The incident between Yu Xiaogang and Bibi Dong caused quite a stir in the city, and it was difficult for Jean Crocodile not to remember him. Then put some pressure on him. Shuai has suffered so much in the Tiando Empire, and even risked being exposed to open an academy for this kid. If he doesn't pay a price, what will happen? Jean Crocodile said angrily. And you kid, you are still stuck at level 89 after so many years. I have lost all my faith to you. In short, don't agree to him easily about opening a new college. The Pope's palace is keeping a close eye on Shuai. Don't mention this matter again until the elder brother has made a decision. After saying that, Golden Crocodile turned and left. Hearing this, Tianqian smiled bitterly and shook his head. His martial soul level is not low, but his innate soul power is only level 7. In addition, he is not a training material, reaching level 89, which almost overdraws his potential. Tile Douluo, there is no hope in this life. With a heavy sigh, Tianqian sat at his desk and continued to study his theory. As for the matter of the new academy of Wuhuan Palace, Tianqian also has more than enough intentions but not enough energy. This involves the dispute between the Pope's Palace and the Enshrinement Palace, as well as the dispute between the Wuhuan Palace and the Tiando Empire. No matter how optimistic he was about Hanyu, he was still helpless. P.S. Set a flag, if this book can reach an average of 3,000 orders. Before finishing the book, the author updated it 10,000 times a day, and after the next book is released, the author will update it 15,000 to 20,000 times a day for a month. Hehe, dear readers, please subscribe. There are 3 chapters left, updated in the early morning, asking for monthly tickets and recommendation votes.